Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to be working on page, I believe it is 4 today. Maybe it's 5. Yeah, page 5 today. And we're working on module 5, lesson 1. And this is going to be a Hardy module, up to 40 lessons. And it is all about fractions, how to add them, how to subtract them, and how to find mixed numbers, improper fractions, fractions greater than 1. It is a hearty module. But let's get into this first lesson today. We're going to be working with decomposing fractions using a number bond and using a tape diagram. Okay, and we have to realize, first off, whole numbers and what they mean. A whole number is pretty simple. When we have a tape diagram, that is completely shaded in, such as this one here. Sorry, I'm going to make my lines just a little bit smaller. There we go. So when we have a tape diagram here, and it's going to be completely shaded in, we know that it is considered 3/3, or it's considered a whole, okay, one whole. So whenever we get a tape diagram, it's completely shaded in, it is considered one whole. Because it's one whole, it has taken all the pieces of all the partitions within that tape diagram. So here we are looking for whole numbers, decomposing them, and giving a number bond. So let's work with our first problem, our first 4 problems today. And you'll be working with the last 2. So let's zoom in. We're working with B here. And with B, we are going to be focusing on our denominator. And remember, our denominator is any number that is on the bottom is considered our denominator. And I go D for down. Denominator is the number below. What is shaded is our numerator. Okay, our numerator is on top. So we always try to find out what our denominator is before we even go into solving the fraction. So my denominator, I'm seeing how many total partitions we have. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's not 5, it is 4. All right, and how many are shaded in? 1 and 2. Perfect. So we have 2/4 here. Now, we aren't done with this at all. We need to figure out how it's decomposed here. So you see these little brackets here, these brackets are focusing on one shaded portion of this fourth. Well, it's going to be 1/4 is shaded. And this bracket here is another 1/4. And when we add it, it equals 2/4. Okay. However, we need to make a number bond, which we have these 2/4, and we are going to put a 4th and a 4th, and we're going to put a 1 and 1 here. And we're going to circle it. All right, boom. And we are done with that first problem, B. We found out how much the fraction was, and we decomposed it, and we put a number bond. We're going to work with C now. C is the same way. We need to find our denominator here. So it's the amount of partitions we have. So let's count. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. And let's circle how many are shaded. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. We have 3/5. However, they are definitely decomposing these in a certain way. So we need to look at our brackets, and we need to see how they partition them. So I know this is going to be fifths, and I know that this decomposition is going to be into fifths, but we don't know how many are shaded. So it looks like the bracket's 1, and the bracket is different here. It's actually 2 that are shaded, that are bracketed, and they're going to equal 3/5. So we are going to circle our 3/5, and we are going to use a number bond. I know this is going to be fifths and fifths. However, it's going to be 1/5 and 2/5. And boom, and boom. Perfect. All right. What I would like to show you, though, is I want you to do D and E on your own, but F, I'm going to help you with F today, which is a improper fraction. So I want you to solve D and E on your own, but I'm going to focus on F right now. And I want us to focus on understanding improper fractions. Okay, and what I am going to use right now is I'm going to use a Snicker bar in order to help us understand whole numbers and improper fractions. Okay, so I'm going to put a Snickers bar here, and I'm going to put another little Snickers bar here. Boom. All right, so we have 2 Snickers bars. Okay, but first we need to figure out how many, what's our denominator, how much are these Snicker bars going to be cut into? And one little example, one little clue for us is to figure out where is one whole. How many partitions are going to be one whole? Okay, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so our denominator is definitely 5. So down below, I'm definitely going to be cutting these into, I'm going to be cutting my Snickers bars into fifths. All right, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Okay, and I'm going to be cutting this other Snicker bar into fifths as well, because whatever we have, we're going to cut into fifths. Okay, so I have 2 Snicker bars, and we are cutting them into fifths. Perfect. Now, we definitely know that the shaded portion here is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have 5 fifths that is definitely shaded. Okay, so here I am going to be shading in 5 fifths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Perfect. So I have one whole here, right? One whole. And what is our other partition that is shaded in here, right? So we have another one that's shaded in. So on my second Snickers, I'm going to just shade in 1. Right? Shade in 1. And what is this partition? What is this shaded region going to be? Well, we know here that it is definitely going to be, we have 1 shaded, so that's our numerator. But how many do we have total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is going to be 1/5. So this little X here, right, it is going to represent fifths still. And we have 1 shaded in. So 5 fifths plus 1/5 is going to equal 6 fifths here. And so this Snickers bar, the second Snickers bar, we definitely can see that we cut 1/5 of it. But here, they really don't add that second Snickers bar. They're just assuming that you know that this little piece here is part of the other fifth, part of the other Snickers bar. So I wanted you to understand here that we have a whole other Snickers bar and we took 1/5 of that. Okay? So that is our improper fraction. All right, so I hope this makes sense here with our Snickers bar and our tape diagram. All right, what I'd like for you to do is solve for D and E on your own. All right, everybody, hope today's math lesson was a great one, an easy one, and I hope this first lesson for fractions, you really understood it because it's going to really be good foundational skills going into lesson 2 and beyond.